our community and dump people in our community like this. This is not fair.
The city's pressing migrant crisis in the spotlight now more than ever, and Southside residents are fired up over plans to put up tents. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Scott Schneider.
And I'm Dawn Hasbrook. Tonight, a meeting on the issue was filled to capacity, and many community members are frustrated that they were not let in. Casey Crona is live in Roseland with the latest. Casey.
Dawn and Scott, community members want to make their voices heard on this subject, and tonight many weren't able to. On the table is a proposal from Mayor Brandon Johnson that would place hundreds of migrants in makeshift camps in a former Jewel parking lot. At Sheldon Heights Church of Christ, an open dialogue on the migrant crisis hosted by Alderman Ronnie Mosley was packed inside and out.
First of all, they definitely chose this venue for a reason. They chose a small venue so that they could discourage the community from being able to show up.
With fall and winter fast approaching, Mayor Brandon Johnson is looking to move migrants from police stations into what the city is calling winterized base camps.
This is essentially like a Band-Aid to a gunshot wound. You are putting a Band-Aid on a huge problem at hand.
One potential site, the former Jewel parking lot at 115th and Halstead.
I think that's a bad idea.
They want to push this out of sight and out of mind.
But it's coming with pushback, many calling on the city's leaders to focus on the needs of taxpayers.
We are the residents of this community, and we demand that they do not put these people here. They're not even following the rules in the police station. What makes us think that they're going to follow the rules here?
Residents tell us they are in need of grocery stores, mental health facilities, and housing for homeless individuals. By the end of this year, the migrant crisis will have cost taxpayers $250 million. Reporting live in Roseland, Casey Cronin, Fox 32, Chicago.
Spend the day with me, then see.
And WGN's Brona Tumulty has been digging into where and how that money is being divvied out. Brona?
Yeah, it's a multi-million-dollar question, more than $84 million actually. That is how much has already been paid out on the migrant crisis here in Chicago, and those bills are piling up. It's a crisis that's dominated headlines almost daily. More than 13,500 asylum seekers pouring into the city since last August, with many sleeping on the floors of police stations.
We are spending money hand over fist to assist these individuals, and yet we still have children, their parents, and the elderly sleeping on floors.
But millions of dollars are being forked over in aid, and we wanted to know where that money is being spent. A Freedom of Information request returned hundreds of invoices and a whopping $84.5 million already paid out since the buses started arriving. The majority of that, more than $56 million, was paid to a company named Favourite Healthcare Staffing. Over $12 million went to another group, Equitable Social Solutions, which helps deal with housing and shelter, and more than $500,000 was paid to Skytech Enterprises for security. But in addition to what's already been spent, we're told there's an additional estimated cost of more than $48 million in unpaid invoices, which would mean total estimated expenditures to date are somewhere in the region of $133 million.
It's abysmal, it's shameful, and it's sad that despite all of our best efforts and despite all the money we committed to throwing to help solve this issue brought to our doorstep by the federal government, this is the best that we have to offer.
Alderman Raymond Lopez weighing in on the situation today, telling us this problem is only going to get worse.
We have to stop playing for the moment and just addressing busload by busload and begin making preparations not only in our city but in this state to address the fact that we can very easily see upwards of 50,000 migrant asylum seekers sent to Chicago and Illinois in the next year.
The city says $51 million in taxpayer money was allocated to the crisis back in May, which accounts for about 38% of what's being spent, while we're told the balance, about 62%, is coming from grants.
They are relying on hope that the federal government will provide us with the remaining dollars to humanely care for these individuals.
And the city says there was no money budgeted in the 2023 fiscal year for this migrant crisis. The 2024 budget will be the first time an allocation is made. We did ask what that number will be, and we're still waiting to hear back from the city on that.
Incredible amount of money. Thanks for pouring over the data, Ron.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Rulewell. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. News in the gospel, brothers from the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is a lesson through the Spirit. Title, basically, Babylon the Great is being invaded. All right. Babylon the Great is really being invaded right before your eyes. Okay, as you see that these foreign migrants, a lot of them, you know, like I said, you have to take things with a grain of salt, and you can't believe everything the news is telling you, because not only are these migrants coming from the particular borders, but they're being flown in too. Okay, because what you have to understand is that Esau Edom is building the military right here in America for the time we're living in, for the marvel of martial law, and when they're getting ready to do this takeover. A lot of these migrants are indeed sincere, you know, meaning that they are people that's coming over here looking for a better chance at life. But as you see that the citizens of Babylon the Great are complaining about it, because they're saying, well, wait a minute, why are we paying taxes and being penalized for taxes, but yet they can come over here and live tax-free and get all this aid and assistance? We're the ones that's paying everybody. Well, wake up, all right? Smell the coffee, because for the simple fact, you Americans, or, you know, us that's been in this society, we have been funding other countries and paying their bills and, you know, helping them to free education and stuff like that. They basically, the world is getting rich off the back of Babylon. Okay. The working class is responsible for keeping the rich power, keeping the poor fed, you know, keeping free education, you know, free Medicare for all these other countries, but yet we the ones that's paying the bill. Okay, and it's totally unjust, but hey, what can you expect when you have a government that's ran by the devil? You know, now some of these people are over here, like I said, to find a probable life, to find a better life for themselves and their families, but a lot of these people are sleeper cells too. Okay, because they know without a doubt that what they're getting ready to do, they know that the average American citizen is not really with it. You know, they know that the average American military personnel is not with rolling on their own citizens, because a lot of the American military, they're very patriotic. So they're going to stand and fight for their constitutional rights. And they know that. So they have a group of people. All right. Like from Redacted, it stated that they had over 6,000 people that was invading these cities every day. OK, so I believe when I was reading the article or listening to something, I can't recall, but it was like over 220-something thousand migrants have entered the United States. OK, and they're making it seem like they're coming through the border, which some of them are. But a lot of them are being flown over here and shipped to bus stations, and they're being bused to these different communities because, like I said, man, you're going to see that a lot of these people are military disguised as migrants, man. And they're really military personnel from the UN, okay, from different parts of the world, which they're not going to give a damn about you Americans when they get the green light to roll on you. Okay, and this is what's being happened. This is what's happening. Okay, you're going to see without a doubt that once all hell break loose, you're going to see blue hats out here. You're going to see Gurkha troops. Okay, you're going to see different forms of military outside of your traditional American military, policing your streets. And then you're going to start to put two and two together. The people who they were busting over here and letting cross the borders were indeed a foreign military in disguise. Okay, and this is what we've been telling you, man. Everything ain't what it seems. All right, so this is play this video real quick, and I'm gonna play Apostle Tahar's video, and I would play some of Redacted, but you know, like I said, I don't know if they're gonna flag the video or not, because I'm not sure if Redacted is you know, copyrighted, so to speak. So here we go.
Because you were just looking at a Mexican train carrying migrants toward the southern border of the U.S. It's getting a lot of attention tonight.
It comes as border agents report a record number of illegal crossings over the past few days. Natalie, back with a stunning scene in San Diego.
And the Biden administration and Border Patrol agents have resorted to releasing asylum seekers on California and Arizona streets because there's simply no more shelter space. And this is what played out over the weekend in San Diego.
You're free to go anywhere you want. You're free to.
Okay, it's no problem if I go to Chicago.
Anywhere you want. You're free to.
A migrant asks a Border Patrol agent if he can leave, and the agent tells him yes. These migrants are given a
So you got a guy like that.
A migrant asks a Border Patrol agent if he can leave.
So you got a guy like this that's literally like they said, they got people of military fighting age. You got a guy like this that kicks in your door that can barely speak English. You ain't gonna plead with him. Okay, you are not gonna plead with this guy, man. He's gonna do what he gotta do because his orders is telling, look, shoot to kill. Anybody that's resisting the WAP or the MOTB or however they're gonna do it, hey, shoot to kill. We're not playing with these people, man. Okay, and this is what you stupid ass Americans get for allowing your government to overtake you, man. Okay, and you're gonna try to fight back, but it's gonna be to no avail because the Most High gave these devils the powers in order to enact their own rules, man. So you coming together and trying to fight the government and overthrowing it based on the Declaration of Independence, because according to that, you can if you have a tyrannical government that lifts itself up in the midst of the people, then you can by right overthrow it and set up our own government. But even if you people did overthrow the left or overthrow the elites, you're gonna still be just as corrupt because you're divided and you're corrupt. Okay, it ain't going back to beef ballpark franks and baseball games and drinking beer in a park on Saturdays, man. Them days are gone, okay? And the average American, they're too divided anyway because they're led by fear. So it says the Democrat plan number one, which the Democrats and Republicans, they're both are the same parties on the same bird. They act like they're opposing one another, but at the end of the day, Trump don't hate Biden, Biden don't hate Trump. They're all control opposition and give you idiots out there the illusion to think that you're making some type of change and you're not. Okay, so it says create a crisis, solve the crisis by a never-ending state of emergencies. Yep, the Vicky coming back. It says use those emergencies to raise taxes, print money, and take away rights. Use the intersectionality of all those created emergencies to implement your socialism and communism ideas. Okay, going back into the time of Germany. Okay, when we know what happened during the time of, I don't want to say it, but then again, you're going back to Stalin and the execution squads and so forth. This is the Third Reich being played out all over again. Okay, it says you have one of the socialist organizations in the U.S. government. Social Security, no investment, so no capitalists. All money redistributed, so it's socialist. It's taking trillions of dollars out of real wealth and contributions, and it's got zero assets to pay the debt. So how big are its debts? Why aren't the debts reported? What are the consequences of the debt? And America hit a $33 trillion deficit yesterday, I think. I believe that they're edging $1 trillion or more every 3 months. So this society is getting ready to collapse. They're getting ready to break the dollar down, and it makes sense that all these people are coming over here at this time because this is going to be the people that's going to establish some type of order out of chaos. I believe that. Not all of them, but I really believe through the spirit that a lot of these people that you're seeing, these migrants, I believe a lot of these are military personnel. Okay, I've seen some around here. You go to Walmart, you see people that dress different. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, man, I've never seen this person before. So they're literally sleeper cells right in your neighborhoods, man. You know, sooner or later, they're going to be standing in an apartment next door. Gonna wake up, they're gonna have that blue hat on, kicking in your door. All right, but this is the book of Ezekiel 23 and 23. It says the Babylonians and all the Chaldeans, Pico and Shoa and Koa and all the Assyrians with them, all of them desirable young men. Okay, didn't the article come out a few months ago that says all young men of fighting age? It says all of them desirable young men, captains and rulers, great lords and renown, all of them riding upon horses, military equipment. And they should come against thee with chariots and wagons and wheels, and with the assembly of people, which shall set against thee buckler and shield and helmet round about. And I will set judgment before them, and they should judge thee according to their judgments. And I will set my jealousy against them, and they should deal furiously with thee, and they should take away thy nose and thy ears, and thy remnant shall fall by the sword, and they should take thy sons and thy daughters, and the residue should be devoured by fire. And they shall also strip thee out of thy clothes, and take away all thy fair jewels. And thus would I make thy lewdness to cease from thee, and thy whoredom to be bought, bought from the land of Egypt, so that thou shalt not lift up thy eyes unto them, nor remember Egypt anymore, man, okay? Because the Most High is going to put the spirit on these foreign troops to deal treacherously with you Americans, man. Okay, this is the time of the Lord's judgment, okay? And a lot of the ones that's not really on this kick, a lot of those migrants from Venezuela and so forth, a lot of them are being sent over here to get the judgment, to get those missiles. Because not only is Jake rebellious in America, Jake is rebellious all around the world, man. Okay, when you go down to Venezuela, you go down to Central and South America, man, they worship Cesare or Serapis. You know, they into eating each other, abomination. They into hacking each other, you know, idol worship. He's brought a lot of them up here to get that sword, man. Okay, because a lot of these migrants coming into these cities, they're going to be victims too. You know what I'm saying? Laid out on the streets, man. And that's why the scripture said that the dead should be cast out as dung, because it's going to, like I said, there's going to be a absolute war on the souls of America among the citizens and the government. That's coming soon. Okay, ain't none of this slow down stuff that we're in a down period right now. But once everything hits the play, they're going to make their move, and they're making their moves quick. Because when you look at the G20 summits and so forth, they're signing legislation, or not legislation, or they're signing revisions into the earth about global, you know, surveillance systems, all this stuff. They're moving quick, man. Okay, because Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is getting ready to come back and restore order to this place, real order. All right. So, hey, you can expect your blue hats to be on the city. They already here. The UN is already here, and you're seeing them hop off these buses, these tents, they're in police stations, man. Since when the police have been fond of foreign, quote unquote, invaders? Because they working hand in hand. The police know what's going on. The mayor Brandon Johnson, that Negro, man, you put up, you let one meat puppet go just to hire another Jake. Man, look, when this falls, Jake is going to be the face of why it falls, man. Okay, and guess what? Brandon Johnson, the new mayor of Chicago, Illinois, trust me, people are going to be ready to put him down, all because of the orders that he's taking from his higher-ups. See how they put a Jake in there at the time everything is getting ready to collapse. They put Jake up in there to take the fall for it. No different than when Nero burned down Rome. Who did they blame? They blamed the Israelites for that. So everybody is mad at this guy, Brandon Johnson. Okay, some 73rd black, some 73rd and X's type nigga. You know what I'm saying? In your office now, you know, apparently to run the shots, and he don't declare anything. It's funny how they give Chicago another black mayor when all hell is getting ready to break loose, right? That way they can target you Jakes, man. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But this is the book of Jeremiah 50. And I'm going to start at verses 9. It says, "For lo, I will rise up and cause to come against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country." Okay, you got the Russians that's going to invade. Okay, you're going to have Gurkha troops. You know, Koreans, all types of people who are coming over. They already here. It says, "And they shall set themselves in array against her, and from thence shall be taken. And their arrow should be as that of a mighty expert man, and none should return in vain." Because in gold, they're going to shoot nuclear missiles on this place. And I don't, honestly, my just personal opinion, I don't see America making it out of this decade. Okay, I think this is the decade. I think this is the final decade for Babylon the Great. I don't see this going beyond 2030. You know what I'm saying? And just, I speak as a man when I say this, not prophetic wise, but I give it another year or two at most. I give it another year or two at least. You know what I'm saying? And at most, I give it to the end of the decade, 2030, but I don't see it going beyond 2030. So, hey, brothers, man, I know that's a long stretch, 2030, but that's really like right around the corner. But I see it coming to pass before then, okay? Because we're 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that's 7 years, man, from now. 7 years is going to fly by, but I don't think we'll be here in 7 years, Lord's will. You know, but regardless of that, hold on, brothers. You know, just hold on. Keep the faith. Keep fighting, you know, because a lot can go down from now up until then, and a lot will go down. Like 2024, I mean, I won't be surprised if that wouldn't be a year of eruption or chaos, especially with the type of numbers that these migrants are doing, you know, and then all of a sudden, you know, people are getting shot out of the blue. You know, a lot of these migrants and stuff like that they're calling are sleeper cells, and they're causing them. They're gonna be part of the order out of chaos, man. Okay, because now the average six-pack Edomite, okay, the red blood American, he's fed up with it because in his mindset, this is just a bunch of spics coming across the board. What can we do about this? You know, those of them that don't really have brain cells to think that maybe the government is housing military personnel right under your face. You know, the average person is not thinking on that level. You know, this is why the scriptures call the men of the Lord the watchmen. We are to watch upon our towers, and we're to report this information. Okay, because we see it deeper than what it really is. The average person seeing, oh, we have a migrant crisis. No, we see it as this is all being done by design. Okay, because no coincidence that this meat puppet, this brainless imbecile Joe Biden, which that may not even be him anymore, but basically Title 42 expired, I think, like in May. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't renew it, and they just allow it to die off. So here you go. You know, so, hey, while the cost of rents are going up, guess what? Who's going to take the hit? You Americans, you're going to pay more in taxes. Okay, you're going to pay more in amenities to keep these people safe, man. And what you going to do about it? Not a damn thing. It says, fucking allergy, Salakia, but it says, and Chaldea should be a spoil, and all that spoil her should be satisfied, says the Lord. Okay, right, because that is the judgment of the Heavenly Father, to bring Babylon the Great to his knees, because all the atrocities, the wickedness, the evil, the tyranny. And it's good that this is happening. Hey, I'm excited, man. I'm excited that the Lord is finally ready to give this horde a judgment that is deserving. Okay, because it says, because you were glad, because you rejoice, oh, you destroyers of my heritage. Because, hey, the so-called white man, hey, you've bought nothing but hell to the earth. Now you're getting ready to reap all that. All the things that you've bought, you're getting ready to reap that, man, 10 times more. It says, because you have grown fat, and the heifers at grass, and bellows as bulls. And your mother, which is Great Britain, should be sore confounded, and she that bare you should be ashamed. But behold, the hindermost of the nation should be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Because it is the wrath of Yahweh, it should not be inhabited, but it should be wholly desolate. And everyone that go about Babylon should be astonished and hiss at all the plagues, man. Okay? So when people see it, they're going to be like, oh, wow. Go shake their head like, damn, that's crazy. Once America, now look at it as a desert. Wow. Once a great country, everybody thrive to come to and to be something. Now look at it. Straight desert, death. You know what I'm saying? And good, call all Yahweh Bashim Hawashai, man. You know, that this is happening to this place, man. And it's been far coming, man. All right, we told people. We've been warning people for the longest, but everybody thought we were crazy. You know, they thought we were the ones bugging out and you know, making this stuff up. No, we have been telling you that this was going to happen. You know, now everybody wants to be a prophet on TikTok. Everybody wants to predict the end of the world. Everybody wants to be the prophets without being the prophets, if that make any sense. All right, Jeremiah 6:22. It says here, thus says Yahweh, behold, a people coming from the north country, and a great nation should be raised from the sides of the earth. And they shall lay hold on bow and spear, and they are cruel and have no mercy. Their voice roared like the sea, and they ride upon horses, set in array as men for war against thee, O daughter of Zion. So ultimately, this war is coming to you, Jakes, first and foremost, because this is the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, the Lord is setting up the perfect scene so Jacob's trouble can play out. Like right now, we're pretty much in the final act of the movie. We're at the time that the movie is getting ready to climax at its peak, and then the end goal when this place is destroyed. So we're entering the final act of this movie. You know what I'm saying? To follow by the new movie, or the movie which is the Kingdom, the sequel, okay, which has already been written. You know, we have previews of that too, but that's going to be a movie on a whole different level, man. You know, but this has to play out first because we're at the end of Esau's rulership. So everything he's done is getting ready to bite him in the ass. But anyway, I'm ended here, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Kakwadash. And with that, Shalom and the Baba Ball, like Apostle Tahar said, hey, Second Esdras 15 and 16 and 14 is getting ready to play out in a very dramatic fashion. So keep your eyes glued to the prophecies, brothers. And with that, stay prayed up. Just keep the faith. Stay hopeful. Shalom. Abba. Shalom.
And the agent tells him yes. These migrants are given a notice to appear in front of an immigration judge. Many of them will wind up in Chicago. And the city estimates caring for migrants will cost city taxpayers $225 million by the end of the year. The Biden administration is considering forcing migrants who cross into the U.S. to remain in Texas while they wait out their asylum cases. Scott?
We want any of our viewers who are earning minimum wage to go and do this. It's very rare that...
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahshua, Bashem, Rakakwadash, Shalom to the hopefully elect out there, and 144,000, first and foremost, then the hopefully, rest of the hopefully elect. Anyway, I'm gonna make this real quick. I'm gonna entitle this, They Are Flooding Babylon with People from All Over the World. They got you thinking that it's people from South America. It's people that's coming, that among the Moabites, Arab nations, African nations, not just Mexicans or Venezuelans. They're not even Mexicans coming up in here, as Venezuelans and other South American nations. And I believe this is for cheap labor, because if you put them in communities, they go out, they work, and they'll be happy because they'll make a lot more that they make in their country. So this to me is going to be cheap labor, and it's going to really ultimately, this is, and I said this in the last video, this is going to cause Second Esdras chapter 15 and Second Esdras chapter 16, and therefore Second Esdras chapter 13 to take place. They're going to flood Babylon. They're going to flood Babylon. They're going to flood Babylon with heathens. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. And you can watch this here. I'll put the link in the description box. And you can go, you see it right there. You can go into about an hour in of this video. And by the way, this is on, what is this? Rumble. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.